The night I learned the world was larger. I want to share a very personal story. In some ways, a brief experience I had when I was about 10 years old seems to have had a little influence on my life, and yet, in other ways, it may have been profoundly formative. Allow me to explain. It was around 1980 in the UK, a year that would later become notable because of the alleged extraterrestrial landing in Rendlesham Forest, Suffolk, often described as the most significant UFO event in British history, and one of the best known worldwide. Earlier that same year, I was living with my family in a small town in Worcestershire. One night at around 2:30 a.m, I was jolted awake as the house began to tremble slightly. At the same time, a strange light flooded through the curtains from somewhere above. There was also a sound, smooth, controlled, and oddly technological. It did not resemble a helicopter or any other aircraft I'd recognized. My mother woke up too. Whatever passed over our house felt unmistakably unusual. Something had moved above us and continued on over the neighbouring homes. Something that did not feel ordinary or familiar. I had a strong, almost animal instinct that the occupants of this craft, although not malevolent, were mischievous, like joyriders perhaps. I sensed they were bending certain cosmic rules simply for the thrill of it. The event itself lasted only moments, yet those moments seemed to initiate a subtle but lasting influence on how I perceived reality. The following day, a few neighbours briefly mentioned what they had experienced. The subject surfaced, and then just as quickly disappeared. Life continued, and the incident slipped into silence. Around that same period, my mother shared a story from her own childhood. In the early 1960s, she had been travelling home from Wales one summer evening with her parents and younger brother. As they passed a particular field, something unusual appeared at the other side of it. The car stopped, and they all stepped out. According to my mother, who would have been about 12 at the time, they stood watching a spinning diamond-shaped craft hovering above some trees for a minute or two, before it suddenly accelerated away, vanishing almost instantly. My grandfather, a professional chemist, dismissed the sighting outright. He insisted it not be spoken of again, and the incident was quietly buried. Years later, in the late 1980s, while under general anaesthesia during surgery, my mother claimed to have had a vivid dream, or perhaps a vision, in which she was taken aboard the same diamond-shaped craft she had witnessed a quarter of a century earlier. But let me return to Worcestershire in 1980. A local newspaper ran a small article reporting that a nearby farmer had seen a disc-shaped object land in one of his fields. The timing matched closely with what I believed had passed over our house. The article added that the following morning the farmer noticed unusual markings left behind. The flyover itself was brief, but in the weeks that followed I began having lucid dreams connected to the experience. In one, I stood on our driveway that same night, looking up at the craft hovering directly above me, completely still. I noticed a camera-like structure protruding from its underside. I had the unmistakable sense it was observing more than just my physical body, that it could see my thoughts, my awareness, my inner state. The sensation felt intrusive, but somehow not alarming. I sensed too a powerful unity within the craft, a collective consciousness that felt cooperative, obedient, and almost entirely absence of individuality. Listeners familiar with alien encounter narratives may recognize this as akin to a hive mind. In another dream, I stood beside a fence, as if at a zoo. On the other side were two gorilla-like beings, one male and one female. I understood this symbolically. Perhaps this was how humans appeared to the beings who operated the craft. Physically strong, yet primitive and animal-like by comparison. In yet another dream, I looked out of my bedroom window to see a floating genie-like figure hovering outside, arms folded. The shock was overwhelming. I collapsed, and the dream ended abruptly. Whether these dreams were simply the mind of a child attempting to process something unknown, or something more profound, I cannot say with certainty. Yet that brief moment in 1980 left a lasting imprint, quietly shaping how I think about consciousness, reality, and our place in the universe.